Hey everyone, Magic Sword here. We are going to be going through this all again today. I know, weird. Last review was kind of short anyway, and I realized that if I don't do this now tonight, it's going to pile up, right? Because they did these standard 5 reveals and then also, holy crap, all the Soul Shard stuff. That's, what, 7 more cards? 9, actually, it's 9 more, I remember. I actually remembered something, wow. Um, yeah, let's get right into this now then. Get this out of the way. Adorable Infestation, 1 mana Hunter Druid spell. Give a minion +1/+1, summon a 1/1 cub, and add a cub to your hand. Wow, holy crap, that is a lot for a 1 mana spell. This is, first and foremost, Beast Druid support. That's what I thought. Because I just feel like that's going to happen, you know? It's because of the dual class stuff, right? Um, we're seeing a little bit more every time a new druid thing drops that it's could fit into that zoo style. But anyway, immediately thought of Alley Cat when I saw this card, right? 1 mana, 1/1, summons a 1/1. Same stats here. It's that 2/2 stat line that we're all too familiar with. Except this requires a minion on board. So slight downside, requires a minion on board. Big upside, puts a 1-drop into your hand. So the big play here is play a hardy 1-drop, like a 1/3, and then follow it up on turn 2 with this, cast it on the 1/3, make it a 2/4, and then play the 1/1 cub. Pretty straightforward. So you then have 3 minions on your board turn 2, pretty solid board state to start the game off with. I think as of right now, this is much more of a hunter card than a druid card, just based on the types of decks that they are running at the moment. But like I said, I have good faith that we will see a much more traditional minion-based zoo druid soon. Next up, we have Lab Partner. This is just, again, another good card. These are both just strong cards, almost regardless of what the meta is, what deck archetypes are prevalent, right? This is a 1/3, 1 mana 1/3, always good, with the upside of spell damage +1, very fitting for mage, right? So my immediate thought was, yesterday we talked about Frost Whisper. This is big Frost Whisper support, because now on 6 you can do 2 damage to everything. You get a free Blizzard, basically, without the freeze effect, and 2 damage to face, right? That's huge. This is a stunningly powerful card. 1 mana spell damage, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think 1 mana spell damage existed before this. I'm going to look that up after the video. I'll put it in post if I was wrong. And if I was right, we're just going to have little confetti streamers pop down. But again, this is just a very straightforward thing. This is just a powerful card that I think is going to see play basically no matter what. Secret Passage. Okay, this is a kind of a card. Ooh, I'm going to have to bleep that one out. 1 mana rogue card. Replace your hand with 5 cards from your deck, swap back the next turn. Okay, so I've seen a lot of confusion over what exactly this means. I'm going to put forth my interpretation, and we're going to rate it based on that. So, in a physical card game, this is like, I have my hand, I put it on the table. I draw 5 cards. Now I have a new hand. I can do whatever I want with those 5 cards. At the end of my turn, any cards still left in my hand, so let's say I play 3 of them, anything left in my hand gets shuffled back in. So 2 cards shuffled back in. And then I pick up my hand off the table. So I saw some people kind of thinking like, oh, so if you play the minions and then they get like ripped off the board and put back in your deck, I'm like, definitely not. Like there's no reason to want to play this if that's the case, unless you're just doing like spells, in which case the spells would get like duplicated functionally, right? I really doubt that that's the case. So this interpretation in mind, I think this is incredibly powerful. I'd say it's like the Solarium almost, right? Except you don't have to worry about discarding. Then again, discarding was kind of a benefit when Solarium was relevant, so that's neither here nor there, really. But think about this. You're playing a Miracle or Tempo style rogue. You have your hand. It's maybe a little clunky. Maybe it's fine. Right? That's the thing. This card in your hand, suddenly you have a good hand. Or suddenly you get a chance to have a good hand, right? Theoretically, if you have a bad hand, that means that all of the cards you want are in your deck, so you can basically draw anything, and hopefully at least half of your hand will be playable, or at least whatever your mana is up to, at least that amount of cards will be playable, right? So imagine this in a tempo or miracle style rogue deck where you just ping 1 mana, draw up 5 cards, dump them all on the board, and then you have your whole hand, so you didn't actually spend any resources. It was basically just a 1 mana draw 5. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think that this is going to be, assuming we can see that style of rogue, going to be integral to that. I think it might even be one of the biggest cards carrying that archetype. Next up, we have Runic Carvings, which, speaking of carrying archetypes, I don't think this will do. Not for druid, at least. I think it's probably pretty good in a totem shaman deck, but it's better than Force of Nature in terms of your treants per mana spent, and you have that flexibility of the rush aspect of it as well. This is let me actually read it. 6 mana druid shaman card. Choose 1, summon 4 2/2 treant totems, or overload 2 to summon them with rush. It's a little confusingly worded, but it's correct in terms of like English grammar and also the grammar of like how Hearthstone cards are written. Anyway, so being able to give them rush is pretty neat. That flexibility there is not seen too often. It's nice to see choose 1 actually have like within itself kind of a downside of like the other option there, because you can overload, right? I think druid has better ways to flood the board right now with Glowfly Swarm, for example. Also, that rush aspect of it, especially in druid, I don't know so much about shaman, is kind of not so great, because you'll really want to use that when you build that big board in druid. You do that so you can buff it. Well, you're not buffing it, A, because you ran them into your opponent with rush, and B, because you overloaded 2 mana. I don't know. I feel like this fits better in shaman, just because it's outcompeted in druid. As for its use in like a totem shaman, I think as totem shaman gets stronger, I don't know. I had originally thought this changed my opinion of totem Goliath, but then I started, I guess, triple guessing at this point, and now I'm not so sure. I don't know. We can reopen the totem Goliath debate in the comments. Please do. Overall, I think this is going to be an okay card at minimum. I think this will actually be pretty good in Arena. Anyway, Devout Pupil. So, Zoo Priest, right? Are we still talking about that? Okay, so again, another thing I've been rethinking. Not totally sure if Zoo is the right word. I think I may have jumped the gun a bit on that. It's definitely it definitely feels like they're pushing some sort of aggressive priest archetype. This reads tempo, not Zoo, to me. Being able to just like play a 4/5 with Divine Shield and Taunt for, like 2 or 3 mana. Reasonably, I think, in Libram Paladin, for example, if you have this on curve, you could probably play it for 3 mana right on turn 6, right? And if you're high rolling, you could, and I think the high roll is more likely than you might initially think for getting this down to 0 mana, right? I just realized I was talking about playing it on curve with with mana reduction. That doesn't really work out, does it? Yeah, we'll keep that in. We're not gonna edit my idiocy out. So let me rethink that now. I think you could reasonably play this on curve on 4 or 5 then. Yeah, that makes more sense, right? Okay. Top decking a 0 mana 4/5 with Divine Shield and Taunt in a deck where you probably aren't running out of cards that much, right? Hand of a Doll is good refill, good cycle, right? I don't know. I think this is a very natural fit into Libram Paladin, and as others have pointed out, every Paladin card that has Libram synergy, despite not strictly being a Libram card, has had books in the art of the card. So maybe we're going to rename it like literature paladin, reading paladin, book paladin. I don't know. We'll see. I think book paladin is going to be a strong archetype here with all these Librams and Libram accessories. If you remember Corridor Creeper, I think this is going to be like Corridor Creeper, except people are now wise to how powerful these reduction effects are, and they're not going to sleep on Devout Pupil. I haven't seen anyone say that it's bad. Mostly because its baseline stats are really good, right? It's a Sunwalker at base. So because it's a Sunwalker at base, holy crap, this is going to be amazing in Arena. Yeah, that's it. Just another short one. Just wanted to get this out of the way because, like I said, we have 9 more cards. Expect that tomorrow. Expect all the Soul Shard stuff tomorrow, normal time. And as we get closer to the release date, expect these double uploads because this happens every expansion. They kind of stagger them a little bit, and then they don't, and you just get a flood of cards. You're just awash with cards, more cards than any single man could possibly know what to do with, and it's not a good time to try to be a person with a schedule. All right, so that's it for this part of the card review. What are we on now? Round 6. Yeah, holy crap, round 6. Round 7 goes up tomorrow, possibly round 8, depending on if they have another out of nowhere big reveal. And yeah, that's everything. Make sure you follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, and I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but that doesn't matter. See you guys tomorrow.